Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And lately I've noticed many of you all commenting, sharing your experiences, and I thank you all for your heartfelt comments. My deepest gratitude goes to you all for your kind words. In fact, they are inspiring me to create more videos for you guys. So this video is something that you guys would really like. This is actually in response to the soul recoil video I did. One of you guys requested what happens on his side. So this is what I've titled it. As you can see it, so I'm really excited about this one. So what exactly happened? So that's why it's called He Can't Feel You Anymore. How the Divine Masculine Responds to Energetic Detachment. So this is a deep dive into the soul recoil phase of the twin flame journey from our Divine Masculine side. So, as the Divine Feminine, when we pull our energy back, either consciously or through soul level evolution, our Divine Masculine feels the shift, even if he cannot name it. This is not just emotional withdrawal. This is spiritual effect, one that shakes the energetic architecture he unconsciously been resting on. So that's why this discourse explains step by step what our divine masculine actually experienced. And of course, my divine masculine's input is on this as well. So what exactly happens when the energy from us stops flowing to him? I mean, this is not the fantasy version. This is the raw, real, etheric reality. So I would call this the vacuum effect, when our energy goes offline. And this can happen for days, for months, or even years. And our divine masculine may have unconsciously plugged into our divine feminine field for a very long time. Our love nourishes him, our astral presence comforts him in his lonely nights, in his boring, mundane work days, or anytime. Our energetic openness serves as his unearned, let's say, access point to union frequency. And he didn't have to do anything at all. He didn't have to do the emotional labor, because our soul, as the divine feminine, was doing it for the both of you, right? But when the divine feminine, when we reach a stage where merging begins to feel draining, not divine, we withdraw our consent. And this creates a spiritual vacuum in the divine masculine's field. So he may feel unexplainably cold, alone, or very blank, and sudden emotional destabilization, irrational frustration, even if he hasn't spoken to you in months. So this isn't just missing you, this is missing the source where he was silently drawing energy from. Not energy, drawing your love, your presence. And so what actually happens is that this is when he starts to rise into a state of emotional confusion and projection, because he may not understand energy mechanics. The divine masculine's mind starts searching for meaning, starts scrambling for meaning. Why do I feel anxious every night now? Because you're no longer connecting to him. And then, point. Why do I suddenly want to check her profile after months? Suddenly you will have the urge to go see what you're doing, what you have been up to even, go and see if you have moved on or if you're with somebody else, even though you would not be in most cases. But still, he will suddenly start to feel, so all the anxiety that you had been going on suddenly goes to him. And then he'll be like, why do I feel something sacred slip through my fingers? Literally, this is a question he would ask. And his subconscious knows there's been a change. But his conscious ego often interprets it as, oh, now she's trying to be manipulative. Oh, now she thinks she's better than me now. Oh, she doesn't care anymore. After all I did, her behavior is what it is. So rather than face the grief of the energetic loss, he projects blame, judgment, or anger outward, even if it's all internal. His soul is feeling your absence. His ego is trying to punish you for creating it. So this is when addiction withdrawal, where what we call the loss of etheric supply comes in. So this is a very intense phase. And in many cases, the divine masculine has formed an energetic dependency on your field. So even in separation, your openness allowed emotional leakage, telepathic reassurance, astral encounters that regulated his nervous system. But once you seal your field, he's cut off from the etheric supply. This creates symptoms that eerily minor addiction withdrawal. So this is going through the cold turkey phase, where he suddenly becomes very agitated, he becomes obsessed, he starts blaming himself, he gets very, very angry. And my DM said he was actually going through all of this. Mainly, he goes through emotional dysregulation. And, in some cases, he may attempt to distract himself in category 1 situations through another karmic partner, or category 2, the monk might silently just go into being a workaholic or obsessing on an idea, or doing things that would numbing habits, in other words. So he's not losing you at this point. He's losing the loop of access to a frequency he hasn't yet earned internally. And that's the entire point of this all. And that's why for the person who requested me to do this side, truly it's gold for the moment. So what it actually happens is triggered core wounds, unworthiness, abandonment, and control. So in energetic detachment from us activates all survival programs in our divine masculine, especially those tied to being emotionally abandoned as a child, or not getting the attention needed, or even being bullied in school, or having a parent who works a lot, or just being emotionally abandoned as a child, feeling unseen or unworthy in past relationships. So it could be in situations where he was rejected because he was too old, or he was too young, or he was too immature, or he may have been rejected because he wasn't able to be very intimate. With divine masculines, I've noticed this pattern. They find it really difficult to be intimate with anyone else. That's why with the karmics, it often fails, because once he's reconnected to us, the divine feminine in the 3D, he's not really able to be with anyone else. So intimacy doesn't work fully. So that starts to happen. So and it also starts to happen years before he starts meeting you as well. He wouldn't be able to be with anyone else in an intimate way, because the divine feminine is on earth. So the feeling of unseen or being unworthy in past relationships, all of these comes out as well during this energetic detachment. The fear of losing control over outcomes, because all this while he was in control of rejecting you, of pushing you away, of telling you, I'm not interested, or don't ever talk to me ever again, or blocking you, or not responding to you, or ignoring you, or painfully choosing someone else. But now he's losing control, because when you cut him off in an energetic way, it triggers core wounds in ways you would never quite imagine. So at this point, his higher self is orchestrating a wound confrontation, where you are not abandoning him. You're reflecting what his inner boy still believes is inevitable, which is, when I'm not perfect, love disappears. And this forces him to either reenact his fear through karmic patterns, category 1, or finally face his inner fragmentation, which is category 2. Excuse me. So this is an important part, the fork in the road, like whether it's awakening or retraction. So at this stage, the divine masculine reaches a soul level decision point. Either, which is the retraction path, which is further detachment, lashing out, blocking, ignoring, doubling down on logic or karmic distraction. So he will start his performance, he will do things to try to get more of your attention because you've cut him off. But this is the ego shielding him from the pain of growth. And the other path is the deep grief or surrender, emotional break, which is the awakening path, which is the deep grief or surrender, emotional breakdown that leads to spiritual breakthrough and a genuine attempt to feel, to listen, and to transform. And once this awakening begins with a simple soul wrench realization, which is exactly this. I can't feel her anymore, and it's because I haven't been feeling myself. Literally, I'm quoting my divine masculine on this. So this is what he starts to feel, when he starts to feel like he can't feel you anymore. And somehow in our monadic twin flame journey, it brings us to the point where we no longer want to be open anymore to give our energy. So this is what happens. He will not be able to feel you anymore. And it's because he hasn't been feeling himself at all. So this is one of the soul wrench realization. So what you feel as the divine feminine is not delusion. It's actually etheric law. Many divine feminine second guess this recoil phase. We feel guilty. We wonder, am I just closing my heart out of ego? Am I closing my heart out of anger, sacred anger? Or do I just dislike my David? So this is the time when you start feeling all of these dislike, annoyance, and whatever, right? So what you're doing is restoring coherence. You're no longer holding the union frequency alone. You are inviting him, not chasing him, into equal energetic presence, and he feels that shift. Even if he denies it, even if he mocks it, even if he runs from it, his soul knows the cord is still there, but the gate is closed, and the only way back in is through becoming the man who can meet you there. And this is when his ascension begins. So remember, the detachment is not the end. It's actually the path to return. And as the divine feminine, when we seal our energy, our masculine finally feels it. So it's not about having the energy, it's the lack of energy that actually gets him to wake up. So that's not the end of union, that's the beginning of real love, and love that is not fed through fantasy, unbalanced merging, or silent dependency, but love that is anchored, earned, and embodied. And in that silence, your divine masculine hears his true call, that you aren't gone. You are just no longer available to the part of him that refuses to grow. So that's the reason why you may feel this. You may feel this really, really clearly. You will notice that you will actually, so this is what I've described in another video, the cocoon phase, So once you cut him off from being too available with your energies, meeting him in the astral, or not dreaming about him, because a lot of it is a reflection of the state of being, that embodiment you are in as well. So that is the reason why, if you're the divine feminine and you have pulled back and you feel guilty, you got to hear this. You're not rejecting him. You're refusing to merge with the version of him that can't meet you in coherence. So you didn't cut the cord. You closed the door that was draining your life force, and the door is still there. But now he must knock, not expect access or take it for granted. So here's the miracle. When he says, He can't feel you anymore. That's not the ending. That's the invitation to rise, to heal, to embody love, not just draw from it. And when he returns, it won't be through the astral back door. It will be as the man in union with his own individuality, and only then will your soul say yes again. So it's not that he can't feel you anymore, but maybe now he'll finally be able to feel himself. And with that, I really hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all again with another video. Thank you again. Thank you all for watching, and I hope this video inspires you on your journey. And if you guys want to work one-on-one with me, you guys can book a session via my website. With that, if this video resonates with you, do share your thoughts on the comments, and I'll see you all again tomorrow. Take care, be empowered, and remember, you are the goddess. All right, take care and see you all again. Bye-bye.